Hey, what's up everybody? Today I want to share with you guys this Excel program that I created. And what it does is it analyzes potential house flipping deals. So if you're in the market to flip a house, you could use this Excel program to enter in all your pertinent information about the deal, and it'll crunch the numbers and let you know about how much you should pay for a house up front so you don't overpay. So if you watch this video and you're interested in the Excel spreadsheet, there'll be a link down in the video description. So here's how the Excel sheet's laid out. I got a directions tab and then tabs labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then after reading the directions, you just follow down the tabs as they're numbered, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's begin on tab 1. In this tab, you enter in all your property improvements. So down here, there's a bunch of categories. And after inspecting the house, you need to assign a dollar value to each of these categories, which is going to signify how much it's going to cost for you to make an improvement to that area. So let's put the address of this house down, and let's say it needs a new roof, and that's going to cost $8,000. Let's see, it needs new windows. It's going to cost $5,000. And let's say it needs a deck redone. That's going to cost $2,500. Let's say there needs to be drywall. I'm going to say that costs $2,000. So we're going to gut the place. Paint's going to cost $1,500. Flooring we're going to say is $3,000. Doors and trim we're going to do all new. We're going to say that's $3,500. Cabinets we're going to say is $6,000. And we're going to do appliances, we're going to say is $3,000. And you guys get the general idea. So after you go through this list down here and you populate all the values that are relevant, you can see that it automatically totals everything up here for you. So we're done with this tab, and now we're going to move over to tab number 2, which is called transaction information. And it's here where we fill out the rest of the info. So the first thing you got to fill out is the estimated after repair value when the flip is completed. So this is the most important part of the Excel sheet. And what this value is a realistic dollar amount of what this house could sell for after you're done remodeling and making all your improvements. And if you're not sure, ask a realtor. They could help you, before you put down an offer on the house. You really need to know this number. And then this Excel sheet works backwards from there, which is going to subtract all the expenses to get you a dollar amount that you should pay for the house. And the reason you want to work backwards this way is because the value of 99% of houses are limited by the neighborhood that they're placed in. So if you have a $100,000 house and it's surrounded by $800,000 houses for some reason, you could make a ton of improvements to that house and probably make a huge profit if you were able to buy it for $100,000. But if you overpay for a house, let's say you pay $150,000 for a house and it's surrounded by a bunch of $100,000 houses, you being able to flip that property for a profit is probably very unlikely. So there's always an upper ceiling to a neighborhood, and you need to figure out what that is, because I could buy a house and I could put $500,000 into it. That doesn't mean that the house is actually going to be worth that if it's surrounded by a bunch of homes that are less expensive. So anyway, that's why it's very important to nail down an accurate after repair value. So let's say in this case the house after repair value is going to be $250,000, and I'm going to hire a realtor to help sell it, and their fee is 5%. The yearly property taxes we're going to say are $3,000, and the property insurance for a year we're going to say is $2,000. The utilities for the month we're going to say are $350. And other expenses, say if there's a homeowners association, throw that in there. I'm going to say that there's no other expenses. The estimated duration of the flip in total months, we're going to say we're going to get this done in 6 months. And what your desired profit is, how much you want to make on this deal. So I'm going to say $30,000. And right there, it automatically calculates your profit per month. If you were to make $30,000, you're going to make $5,000 a month. Let's say I'm going to up this to 8, just to see what it does. So it automatically changes that there of how much you're going to make per month. Change it back to 6. So now down here you're going to put in your loan information. So I'm hypothetically just making all this information up, so I don't really have a house that I'm going off of, but let's just say the asking price for this house is $150,000 and you put down $50,000, so you're going to get a loan for $100,000. And the annual interest rate is 3%. The closing costs are $3,000. The loan period is 30 years, and you have the option of putting down an extra payment, which I'm not going to do. So the scheduled loan amount is $421 a month, and over the 6 months you're going to pay $1,493 in interest, which here's where I'm getting the 6 months from. So let's change this to 8. As you can see, the amount of interest changes because I'm paying 2 more months worth. So where I'm getting all this information is actually from tab number 3, which is the loan amortization schedule. And all this happens automatically in the background. If you want to come over and take a look at it, you can. You don't really need to do anything with it though. Alright, so now that we got all this entered up here, we can go down to the summary portion. And here it's calculating our total expenses for the whole flip. And then this is the target purchase price in order to be able to make our $30,000 in profit. So let's say I'm going to change this to 4 months. So that means I can pay a little bit more for the property. Let's say I'm going to change it to 3 months. Pay a little bit more. Let's say I only want to make $20,000 in. So as you can see, as you change these numbers, the values down here are going to change, and your target purchase price is going to adjust up or down accordingly. So let's say I want to save this deal and I might go back to it later. I'm looking at a bunch of deals in order to figure out which house I'm going to flip. So if I want to go back to these numbers later, in place of having to enter everything and try to remember what I did, you just click Add to List. And then this deal automatically shoots over to tab number 4. And I got my address, the property improvement cost, or how much I'm going to have to put into the property to remodel it, the estimated after repair value, the total expenses, and my target purchase price and my desired profit. So it puts all the most important numbers over here for me. And that's pretty much it. That's how the Excel sheet works. I could get more into the calculations, but I don't want to bore you guys. So to go along with this, I'm also including an ebook that I wrote, and it's called The Beginner's Guide to House Flipping. And it goes through the whole process of how to flip a house and what you need to look for to get a good deal and to make a profit. And again, if you're interested in this and the Excel calculator, there's going to be a link down in the video description to both. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Check you next time.